K-A-R, oh, Karen, K-A-R, not Catherine, Karen, K-A-R-E-N?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have an ID number, Karen? Where are you located, miss?
In California, ma'am.
In California, okay. All right. So, I gave you my telephone number. Do you need any other information? Did I give you my telephone number?
Yes, ma'am. That was 718-515. I speak with Beverly Copeland.
Yes, you are.
Ma'am, just give me a moment. And what is your email address?
B is in Bravo, E is in Echo, A is in Apple, C is in Charlie.
How can I help you, ma'am?
Now, what I'm interested in knowing is, I had problems today. I had problems today, a series of problems. One, I called my internet service provider. They told me that the system had been down temporarily this morning. So, therefore, the fact that my router stopped connecting, I lost my internet connection and my internet modem had to be restarted, reflected that fact. They were relatively certain. However, I've had two other problems. One, my internet service provider was able to identify, and that was that the IP address for one of my cameras did not match the IP address of the internet service provider. Paula had me on the line. She had me unplug the camera in question where the IP addresses didn't match. Replug it. They still didn't match when I came upstairs. So then she wanted me to use the disk that came with the camera to, refresh the software. However, I told her that I was told it's always best to go to your website to do that because the disk was dated and it didn't have the updated software. So we went to your website to do that, and we did it, and she said that the website, there was a message that the website was down. Yes, the website had been down, but that was between, I think it came back online. The website came back online. She said, and that's what the message said, at 4 a.m. Pacific time, which is 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I said the fact that I was able to access my D-Link and all have green checks by my cameras, to me, is common sense that your website is back up. Not to mention, again, according to the pop-up, at 4 a.m. Pacific time, which is 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the website was accessible, and it was. I mean, it's just common sense. I'm looking at it again now. All of the devices have green checks, which means, right, your website's working, no? Doesn't that mean that? Okay. I can't hear you. Can you talk louder? Let me check. No, so that's common sense, So then we went to support. Oh, yeah. And then we went to run the wizard to reset the cameras, right? And so I tried. And then what happened was, I got, you have that option. Either you want to reconfigure or reset your cameras. I click reset as she instructed me to, but it seemed to be going around and round in a loop. By that I mean, I keep doing the same thing over and over again. So then I said that to her, and she said, the website is down. It was down till 4 o'clock in the morning. I said, yeah, but at that time it was almost 7:30 a.m. here. I said, 3 and 4 is 7. It's 7:30. The website is up. So then she put me on hold, or whatever. I couldn't hear her. And then all of a sudden, it was dropped. Now, I'm an old lady, and I have, as I explained to her, I live in a very high crime area in the United States, the Bronx. It's a zoo, and I'm a senior citizen. I can call it a zoo. The Bronx is a zoo. I don't have to be politically correct. I'm a senior citizen. It is a damn zoo. So then, because my mother, a 90-year-old woman, sweet lady, was sexually assaulted in this house. So the fact that she put me on hold and then dropped the call. She didn't, it really didn't put me on hold. I didn't hear the music, but the phone was on and then she dropped it. Is disrespect, and I don't need it. I'm an old disabled lady. So now I'm calling you because, again, the IP addresses with the internet service provider and D-Link, both D-Link locally on my computer and the D-Link at my website, my D-Link, they do not match the IP address that the internet service provider has. So how do we fix that problem?
I'm so sorry to hear that, ma'am, and I apologize for the inconvenience the previous technician has caused to you. Okay, ma'am. Aside from the box given to you by your internet provider, do you have any other box? Or do you only have the box?
I have a router from the internet service provider, a Netgear router from the internet service provider, and I have a high-speed modem from the internet service provider, and then I have 2 cable boxes for cable TVs. But in terms of my internet, I have from the internet service provider, I have a modem and a router.
And what is the brand of your modem?
My internet modem is an ARRIS, A-R-R-I-S.
And your router?
Netgear. Both from the internet service provider.
So, what is the IP address of your ARRIS box?
What you mean, when you say that, let me be clear. The problem is the IP address for one of my D-Link cameras. The IP address, that's what you're asking me for? According to my internet service provider, let me get it, because I'm a senior citizen, I have to write everything down. I wrote it down. For a camera, one of my cameras, the IP address, according to the internet service provider, is 192.168.0.20. According to D-Link, my D-Link locally and at your website, the same camera, the IP address just a few moments ago, 192.168.1.4. So, Paula, the last tech, was trying to have me reset my camera in order for it to, because she said your website was down and the internet service provider's website was down. It needed to refresh. The camera needed to refresh and get the correct IP address. And so she had me go to your website and then download the software, and we were attempting to reset the camera. You have the option reset or reconfigure. After she had me unplug it and plug it back in downstairs. So the option was to reset or reconfigure. I asked her which one should I click on. She said click on reset. I clicked on reset and it kept looping around, doing the same thing. So then she said the website is down until 4 a.m. Pacific. I said, yeah, but it's not 4 a.m. It's after 7 here, so 3 hours, 4 and 3 is 7. No. Moreover, I was able to access your website. So it couldn't be down, and there were green checks by all my cameras on the My D-Link website. So, it was up. To me, that's logic. But if you know something else, I'm open because I'm not an IT person.
I totally understand, ma'am. Okay, so you're telling me that the camera's IP address, according to your internet provider, is 0.20, and what you are seeing on your My D-Link account is 1.4. .1.4,
yes. That's basically it. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, then your internet provider was telling you it's 0.20, but what you're seeing on your My D-Link account is 1.4.
Right. They're saying 0.20, and I'm saying 1.4. Yes.
How about the other? Can you give me one IP address of your different camera?
All right, 1 minute. All right, okay. I'm going to close the My D-Link website, all of that stuff. Because I got to do one thing. I'll leave that. I'll just minimize it. All right, so I'm going to go now. Hold on a minute. Open up I'm going to do it from the D-View cam. Is that okay? Is that okay?
Once you set your My D-Link account, ma'am, check the IP address of the other camera.
On the My D-Link account or on the... All right, hold on.
On the My D-Link account.
Okay, not through the D-View cam, through your website. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, not that one.
All right, hold on. And how do I do that? I go to support and I run the wizard? Is that how you do it? How do you do that?
Well, then you have to... How did you check this 1.4?
We ran the wizard.
So how did you get this 1.4 numbers? That is how you check the IP address of the other camera.
I did it 2 ways. I did it 2 ways. The first way I did it was I did it by going to my D-View cam. I went to my D-View cam and I read off the IP addresses to the internet service provider, and they said to contact you because there was one of them didn't match.
Okay, so are you trying to check the IP address of that different camera using the D-View cam right now?
Yes, that's what you said to do, right?
Okay, alright. So can you please tell me one IP address of your different camera?
All right, well, 1 minute now, because what I have to do that, now, because I asked her that question, is there a way to check the IP addresses at the D-View cam?
Yes, ma'am.
She said, She said no, but actually there is. When you run the software, you can do it. Just a minute, 1 minute. When you run the setup wizard, you can. Hold on a minute. And that's what I'm doing, and we'll be able to see all of them. All right, it's searching for the cloud cameras. We'll have a complete list of MAC IDs and IP addresses. And searching, 1 minute. Isn't that something? Now it says no cloud cameras can be found. How can that be? Can you
Well, you have to turn off the firewall of your computer.
I did. That pop-up, I did turn it off. All right, there was a pop-up. Allow or disallow. I clicked allow. But you know what? Hold on a minute. No problem. Let me go to my computer. I did that. There was a pop-up and I said allow. Hold on a minute. 1 minute. I don't tell everything. Certain things are just common sense. Hold on a minute. But I should. You're right. Because you don't know I'm an old lady. You may think I don't understand that. Hold on a minute. I'm going to do that. I'm opening up. I'm going to just confirm that. Hold on. My security software is running. I'm going to confirm that the firewall is off, that it is allowing it, in other words. 1 minute. As I instructed it to when I had the pop-up. It takes a few seconds. So again, I disabled my antivirus and I disabled my firewall, and so it should be able to, there's no cloud cameras found. Isn't that strange?
Is your computer a Windows computer?
Windows, yes, XPS, yes. But let me ask you.
Turn off Windows firewall as well.
Okay, the Windows firewall is off. It's off.
Okay.
Would you want me to restart my computer?
There's no need. What is where you're currently running a wizard, right?
Yes.
Okay. Where did you? How did you get that wizard? Is it coming from the disk, or did you download it from the website?
I downloaded it from the website because my disk is dated.
I see. I suggest you use a different computer, ma'am.
Huh?
I suggest you use a different computer.
What are you saying I should do?
Do you use a different computer?
I only use one computer, the one that I'm currently using. That's the only computer I use.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, can you access your My D-Link account?
Okay, 1 minute. One minute. I'm closing all this stuff. All right, so my D-Link account. Hold on a minute. I'm at the my D-Link account.
Okay, ma'am. So, do you see there the camera that has a different IP address?
Let me say this. Let me ask you this question because I think it's pertinent. If at my D-Link account, hold on a minute, it says internet. It says close the program. I'm going to have to close it. Okay, closed it. Okay, I have a question to you. If I am able, which I am now, you said I closed out the setup wizard, right? I'm at my D-Link, right? I am able to see green checks by all of the icons for the camera. To my mind, logically, that means that my cameras are able to communicate with your my D-Link website without a problem, right? Shouldn't I be able to run the setup wizard too? You know?
Let's just forget about the wizard, ma'am.
I don't know. I'm just asking. I want to learn, you know?
Yeah. What's your question again, ma'am?
If, inasmuch as when I go to my D-Link, right, the home page, there are green checks by all of my cameras, all of my D-Link cameras, and I can see them. I'm looking at one of them now. Okay? Without any firewall or any other issue. When I go to should I turn the firewall back on, by the way?
There's no need.
Okay, so if I'm able to, when I go to your website, my D-Link, I'm able to see my cameras with green checks, which to my mind rationally means that there's not a problem with my computer communicating with your website. When I try to run the software wizard, why do I have a problem?
Yes, that wizard is saved on your computer. Okay. Well, this my D-Link account is in the internet.
No, I access the wizard through your website. It's not from a disk.
Yes, but you downloaded the wizard and you save it on your computer. So this time, it's saved on the computer. It's no longer in the internet.
Okay.
Okay, but with that my D-Link account, it's from in the internet.
Okay, all right. So let me ask you this, okay. So you're saying the reason that I am able to access my D-Link account and see my cameras from your website, yes. However, when I try to run the wizard, and I can do it through my DView cam, I can see it locally on my DView cam. I can see it locally on my cameras locally, my DView cam. I can see the cameras through your website. Yet when I and I had been able to see my cameras when I ran the wizard before with Paula. Now I'm not able to run the wizards. By that I mean well, let me just try this. Maybe there was an error. Hold on. Maybe it was a little software thing. Just bear with me. I just think logically, if I could see them locally and I could see them in the website, I should be able to do it through the software. In fact, but, let's just do this, because it could be just one of those software glitches, Okay, all the cameras are accessible now. The IP addresses you wanted to know?
Yes, the IP address of that different of your second camera, other camera.
Okay, it's still 192.168.1.4. It hasn't changed to .0.20.
Okay, ma'am. How many cameras are you seeing right now?
I see all 8 of my dealing cameras.
Okay, how about, aside from this 1.4 IP address, what are the other IP address?
I'll read them to you. The first one is 1.8, the second is 1.11, the third is 1.3, the fourth is 1.9, the fifth is .1.10, the sixth is the 1.4, the seventh is 1.6, the eighth is 1.2.
Okay, ma'am. So let me tell you this. There's no problem with the IP address of your camera. There's no problem with the IP address of your camera, okay? Because every camera has, every camera's IP address is in a range, like 1.4, 1.8, 1.1, 1.3. So it means that your cameras have the correct IP address.
So let me ask you this, because I'm just...
Correct IP address, the IP address is the IP addresses are in a range 1.3, 1.1, 1.4, 1.8.
Yes, so the
There's
.0...
no problem with the IP address of your camera. What your internet provider told you is the default, the original IP address of the camera. Since the original IP address of the camera, like the IP address of the camera itself is 0.20. But since you have a Netgear router, for your cameras to work, they have to be communicating to your Netgear router. So they are getting 1.something from your router. So your Netgear router is giving correct IP addresses to your camera. Your Netgear router is 1.1, so it's giving your cameras 1.something, 1.4, 1.8, 1.1, 1.3. So your cameras are dependent on your router's IP address. Your Netgear router's IP address is 1.1. So it's giving your cameras 1.8, 1.4, 1.3. But if you don't have, like, let's say you don't have a modem, you don't have a router, the IP address of the camera is 0.20.
Okay, but the point is I do have a router, and all the others are correct.
Okay. Since you have a router, which is giving 1.1 or 1.something, your router is 192.168.1.1. So it's giving all your cameras IP addresses that are in a range of your router's IP address. So your cameras are getting 1.4, 1.8, 1.1, 1.3. So it means your cameras have the correct IP address. They are communicating with your router. They have the correct IP addresses from your router. So there's no problem with your camera's IP address. So just forget about what your internet provider told you, because that was the original numbers of the cameras. If you don't have modems and routers. Since you have modems and routers, you will not have the that IP address 0.20.
But he does. Just let me hear me out. I'm calling you because the internet service provider told me that is an issue because all of the IP addresses for the other cameras are correct, 1 dot whatever. However, for one camera, it's 0.20. What you're telling me is that it should be 0.20 if I don't have a router or modem, but I do. So I don't,
Okay. So right now you have 8 cameras.
Yes, and they all have
everything has 1 dot something, and you
except
one that is 0.20.
There's one. All of what I see, hold on a minute. Well, all that I see are 1 dot something, except for, what the internet service providers all have 1 dot something except for this one.
If that's the case, then you don't have to worry.
Okay, all right, good. So I'm glad. Well, that's all I wanted to find out. So let me try to translate your technical jargon into my English. What you're saying is that there's some kind of glitch, but don't worry because the 0.20 is an identifier that matches the 1.4. That's what you're saying. The 0.20 and the 1.4 represent the same IP address. One is the original IP address that came with the camera, and generally you see the 0 dot if you don't use a router or modem. Generally, when you use a router or modem, you see a 1.4. I guess that's why the internet service provider told me to call you. But you're saying don't worry because even though the 0.20 is when you don't use a router or modem, and I'm using both, it is identical to the 1.4. Is that what you're saying?
That is correct, ma'am. You got it.
Okay, so that issue. All right, so that's that issue. So moving right along, I'm as I told the internet service provider, happiness is a process of elimination. So I eliminated that problem. Now I got one more problem we have to resolve. And he said again, call your internet, my dealing. Happiness is a process of elimination. Okay. Hold on a minute. 1 minute. Now, we got this other issue. 1 minute. Bear with me. Now, we have this problem that is a new problem, and that is the problem of the night vision on one of the cameras. Now, it's kind of weird, too. I have the problem, but one other thing I want, before we go on. I want you to know that I have, in addition to my 8 D-Link cameras, I now have an additional camera, an outdoor camera. It is a Logitech outdoor camera, right? And that Logitech camera, I don't have it I don't run it through my D-Link software. I run it through the Logitech software, okay? So, for example, when I want to view the recording or the live stream from that camera, I don't open my DView cam. I open up my Logitech Commander software. However, when he was giving the IP addresses today, although the numbers correspond for the Logitech camera of, the IP address, it had a DCS932L. And so my question to you, don't worry about that either, because DCS932L, that is a D-Link model number for my camera, and it's not a DCS932L. It's a Logitech camera that I'm running through a Logitech software. Don't worry about that either, though, huh? Hello? Hello? Oh, hello? Okay, so I'm sorry, I didn't realize you couldn't hear me. I have the 2 other issues. We've eliminated one, We've eliminated, really, he eliminated one, you eliminated the second one. The 0.20 and the 1.4, don't worry about it. It's the same IP address. One is an original and the other is original that generally only works when you're using a modem and router, and that's the 1.4. The other one, the 0.20, generally you don't see that when you're using a modem and router. I do see it, but don't worry because it's the same camera. Okay, so that's happiness is a process of elimination. Now this may be just one of those things too, but you know, I used to be a teacher. I have a bureaucratic mind, so little things you only pay attention to detail. It may just be one of these things, so let me just run this by you real quick. I run the Logitech camera using Logitech software, right? Using Logitech software, so it is segregated or separated from my D-Link camera system. In fact, when I want to look at the live view for my Logitech camera or the recording, I don't open up my D-View cam, or I don't go to the My D-Link website. I open up my Logitech Commander software. Now, when we went over the IP addresses for all 9 cameras, my D-Link and my Logitech, the Logitech camera starts out with DCS932L. Now, I'm using, but that's a D-Link identifier, no? Or doesn't matter?
That's D-Link.
Yeah, but and that's my question. For my Logitech camera, it gives the IP address, the 192, blah, 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 blah. It's correct, but it starts out with DCS932L for my Logitech camera, and I don't run my Logitech camera through my D-Link software. So why is that?
This is a model number of the camera that has the IP address 192.168.1.4.
But this is what I'm saying. For my D-Link, for my Logitech camera, which is not a D-Link model. Hold on, let me, I can have a very bureaucratic mind, and I'm paying so much attention because my mom, my 90-year-old mother, was sexually assaulted in this house. And like I said, I'm a senior citizen. I live in a Bronx zoo. I'm surrounded by animals. That's the truth. And I'm a senior citizen. It is a zoo. The Bronx is I was born and bred in it. It's a zoo. Okay, so here's the IP address for my Logitech camera. It says 192.168.1.5. Hold on a minute. 1 minute, I have to figure this one. So what I'm saying, Karen, is that for my Logitech camera, the IP address starts with the 192 and it ends with the 1 dot whatever, right? Okay, so the IP address for the Logitech camera is correct. What's incorrect is the model number. It has a D-Link model number. Is that a problem?
It cannot be wrong.
All right, so if it can't be wrong, it has to be right, right?
Yes.
So even though it's not a D-Link camera, it's a Logitech camera, the fact that the model number is I have to talk to Logitech about that, right?
Yes, ma'am, correct.
All right. I'm just asking these things. Okay, so that's one thing I got to talk to Logitech about. And the final issue is this. And again, I'm paying attention to this because my mom, may she rest in peace, was sexually assaulted in this house at 90 years old. Again, I live in a zoo with all kind of perverts and surrounded by perverts and degenerates. And I can say that I'm a senior citizen. I don't have to be politically correct. But my thing is, okay, the night vision issue. I had been able to have good night vision on my Logitech camera, the outdoor camera that covers the front of the house, the front door to the basement and the garage, right? I have had no problems. I had no problems with my D-Link camera that covers that same area. Basically, basically not exactly the same. I wouldn't have two cameras covering identically the same. 2 days ago, I noticed that there was a problem with the D-View camera, the Logitech cameras covering of that area, right? And this morning when I woke up and my modem and router were out, I noticed that my D-Link camera was no longer covering that area either, and so far as the night vision was concerned. I became concerned because, again, my mother at 90 years old was sexually assaulted in this house, and that camera covers the front of the house, the steps to the front door, the garage, and the front entrance to the basement. So obviously I became concerned. And then I became even more concerned when I was able to identify that my D-Link cameras, the cameras in total darkness, like in the garage, I didn't have a problem with the night vision. The ones in the basement. So what could be causing the night vision problem with the D-Link camera? Logitech, that's a different issue, but certainly you should be able to help me on that. Why all of a sudden do I have a night vision problem with the D-Link camera that's covering the front of the house when I didn't have it before, and I don't have night vision problems? And by the way, the one covering the front of the house, there is light from the street. There's street lights, so there is more light. So you would think logically that camera would have a better night view than, let's say, the camera in total darkness in the garage or in the basement. But the ones in total darkness have a better night vision. Was I too long-winded, too professorial? But I'd like to give all the details. So the bottom line is my D-View cam, one of my D-View cams, the night vision is off. And I don't understand why, because that camera gets some light from outside. And the D-View cams that are inside, also, this is out, and the camera that's inside looking out, the other D-Link cams, the night vision is perfect. Even in an area totally dark, the garage with the door closed. So, can you answer that one?
You're telling me that the night vision of that camera facing the street light?
No, actually facing the street. Not facing the street light, it's facing the street.
You're telling me that it's not working, the night vision the night vision of the camera facing the street is not working?
Not like it had been, no. It's not working like it had been. Yes, the night vision cameras that camera, let's say like the one in total darkness in the garage, is working fine. Or the other two night vision cameras, two night vision cameras in the basement are working fine. That's what I'm saying. Another manufacturer, the Logitech outdoor camera that I have, that covers that overlaps the same area, the front of the house where the doors are and the garage door, three doors are, that one's night vision is off too. Can you explain that?
I'm checking on it.
So it has to do with the light. Okay. So does that potentially mean that in as much as they used to work, right? They used to work. Now both of them don't, and they're two different manufacturers, that somehow someone tampered with the camera. You said light, like flash the device in front of the camera. Cameras to disable the night vision. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what you're saying. I think that makes a lot, that's probably what happened. And so, in as much as that's probably what happened, what logic dictates me to do is to get both cameras fixed. Because if I put another one there, again, I don't have to be politically correct. I live with savages, subhumans, animals. The animals are going to do it. They'll do it if I keep doing it, they'll do it. I'll have no camera having night vision. You understand my point? My thing to do is to report this to the police, number one, and number two, to get the cameras fixed. That's what my logic dictates. Because again, to me, that's the logical response. Because again, I live in a zoo with animals.
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
So let me ask you this question. I import the cameras via Dell. I have to send it back to Dell. Tells me how to get this camera fixed, the night vision fixed on this camera, right?
Yes, ma'am, you can do that one too.
Right, so Dell would tell, because to put another one there, these subhumans, animal savages, are just going to break it too. Now, I think the proof of the pudding is, again, they were working. The night vision was working on both cameras, right? Just 3 days ago. And B, two different cameras, two different manufacturers, I'm having the problem covering the same area. However, cameras from D-Link, in total darkness, I don't have the problem. So that suggests tampering, and I just have to report it to the police, which I will, and I want to thank you. So now I have to contact Dell in order to find out the procedure to return the camera and have it fixed, if I can. If tampering is something that's covered. If it's covered. If it's not, I have to buy new cameras, probably. Isn't that logic?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so
Very logical.
do you have a case number?
Yes, ma'am. Do you have any paper ready?
Hold on. Yes. Yes,
Okay. The case number is letter C for Charlie, 625-9980.
No dashes or anything?
That would be all, ma'am.
C 625-9980. 9980?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. C 625-9980. And you said your name is?
Karen.
Karen, and your ID is?
4230.
Today is May 6th.
Yes.
It's roughly 8:50 a.m. May 6th. Okay. So that's what I have to do. Okay, and so I have two things now to do. One is get both cameras fixed, and the other thing now is to call Logitech and to find out why a D-Link model number is the prefix or that comes before the IP address for my Logitech camera for my internet service provider. When I have segregated the cameras, I run my Logitech camera through my Logitech software, not through my D-Link software. That's a Logitech thing to answer.
Yes, you got it.
All right. Thank you very much, Karen.
You're welcome, Beverly.
All right, bye.
Miss Karen again, thank you so much for choosing D-Link.
But by the way, your cameras are great. I tell the world they're great. They do. People can't believe they do all the things that they do. In fact, two detectives came. This is another thing. Last month, I live in a zoo. Two detectives came here last month because there was an armed robbery, as in gunpoint robbery, in front of my house. And part of it was captured on my D-Link camera. They were amazed at they came up to where my computer is, and on their flash, So my D-Link cameras help solve.
Oh, that's good to hear.
They're great. They couldn't believe it. And then when I showed them, they just marveled. See all the things, and the camera costs $105. They were marveled at all the things.
You must be a hero then.
No, I'm not. I just want to, I'm leaving this country because to me it's sad what America has become. It really is sad, and I just don't belong here. So I'm trying to leave where people are more, where I can find like-minded people, and that's Europe, because it surely ain't America. So I want to thank D-Link. It's a great product, and I want to thank you, Karen. But it was necessary for me to pay such meticulous detail to everything this morning with you and my internet service provider, because my mom, I live alone in this house. It is in the Bronx, one of the highest crime areas in the country. My mother was sexually assaulted, and just last month there was an armed robbery in front of the house, gunpoint, right in front of the drive. So,
I'm so sorry to hear that.
So you understand?
Take care, Beverly.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Thank you too. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
First name and last name, please.
First name Beverly. The last name is Copeland.
Okay, perfect. Now just give me one moment here. Okay, this is about the alert system, 700E outdoor camera, right?
Isn't it a 750? A 700?
No, it's 700, 750. It's the same thing. In that situation, what I can do for you about this case number?
Well, I called yesterday because I had problems with the night vision yesterday and the day before. I thought it was because I had a little piece of tape and the infrared light was bouncing off. It turns out that was not the issue. I had the problem with another manufacturer's camera, a D-Link camera, and I spent several hours today with my internet service provider and with D-Link, and someone probably flashed a light and tampered with both my Logitech's night vision and my D-Link's night vision on the camera.
Okay, I see. Well, don't worry. We surely can continue with the help now. Let me check on the notes here just so I can make sure what the situation is with this camera. And I will put you on hold just for a couple of minutes while I check on the notes. I'm going to deal with it.
Hey.
Now, in that situation here, would you say that you're going to remove all the tape that was covering the front of the lens, right?
It really wasn't. I went outside again. The tape was not covering the lens. It was right below the camera, and I moved the tape. And that problem persisted, and I might add, the problem of not a D-Link camera, not a Logitech camera, a D-Link camera that has no tape on it at all. I had the problem with that camera too. So, the night vision being somewhat disabled. So I called my internet, because I had other problems too. I called my internet service provider and I called D-Link. You don't open until later in the day. D-Link and the internet service provider 24/7. And they were, and D-Link told me the problem is someone tampered with the cameras to affect the night vision. Probably flashed a light in front of the cameras, the Logitech and the D-Link. That's what I'm reporting. And then there's the other issue of my internet service provider. When we did a lot of things. I spent several times because I can have a very bureaucratic mind and I pay attention to every little detail. I noticed that when he gave the IP address for my Logitech camera, he gave a model number, not for a Logitech camera, but for a D-Link camera, even though it had the right IP address, but the wrong camera. Now, I asked D-Link about that, and they said I have to talk to Logitech about it because it should have a Logitech model number and camera name before it, particularly because I segregate my Logitech camera from my D-Link cameras. I ran the Logitech software. I play back and have the live stream from my Logitech camera through my Logitech software, not through my D-Link software.
Okay, Okay, I see. So in that case, somehow the alert cameras are preventing the dealing cameras to be detected by the dealing software.
No, I didn't say that. Let me try to make it. What I'm saying is, okay, we understand now the problem with the night vision is the cameras have been tampered with. That's number one. Number two, there is another issue, which is my Logitech camera. We did a lot of things to come to this conclusion. One of the things we did, my internet service provider went through all of my IP addresses. The IP address for my Logitech camera is the same IP address I have. However, the model for the Logitech camera is not a Logitech camera at all. It's a D-Link camera model.
The one you're seeing from the alert system?
My internet service provider, the company that provides my internet, high-speed internet, for my Logitech camera, it has the correct IP number, but for the wrong camera. It has it for a D-Link camera and not a Logitech camera.
Okay, I see. Well, but even if the camera is getting an IP address with a different model number on the information, that should not affect the night vision in that situation.
No. Right. The night vision, but I just wanted to tell you that the night vision problem is from tampering. But then D-Link said to talk to you about the fact that my internet service provider has a D-Link camera model for my Logitech camera.
Well, in that situation, what we can try is that we can reset the camera. We can delete all the information on the camera by returning the camera to its factory defaults, and that should be able to erase all that information, and hopefully we can correct that problem. I believe that the cameras are performing well, right? You can see, your video, and you can go into the playback, all of that, right?
Oh, the cameras are working well. However, the night vision is not working right. No. It had been. The night vision had been working properly. It is no longer working properly on my D-Link camera. I have 8 D-Link cameras. One of my D-Link cameras, the night vision isn't working properly. Or one of my D-Link cameras, it's not working properly. And it's not working right on my one and only Logitech. I have 8 D-Link cameras. 7 of them, the night vision is working right. One of them it's not. The one D-Link camera where the night vision isn't working properly covers the front of the house where I have the front door, the front steps, the garage door, and the door to the basement. And that is precisely just a different shot where the Logitech camera, the night vision isn't working.
Oh, okay, I see. Well, in that case, we're going to need to try this. We're going to return the camera to its factory default, and if that doesn't solve the problem with the night vision, then I'm afraid we're going to need to replace your camera, because something on the hardware in that case might be causing the problem with the night vision, because I see in the notes here that, the last time you called, which is yesterday in that case, we get the troubleshooting, we checked the night vision was activated, we made sure that you didn't have anything covering the lens.
Exactly, he was very
that kind of sort of thing. So in that case, the behavior of the night vision, if it's not performing as it should be, in that case, it might be something on hardware that might be causing that problem.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. The guy was very thorough yesterday. Right.
Okay,
And it's a hell of a...
We're going to try this. I need to know that you have access to your camera right now so we can check it.
Through your website, I'm at the alert commander. Can't we go to settings and reset it?
Yeah, actually from the settings you can do that.
Yeah, because I'm an old lady and I am legally disabled, and it's been very stressful. I've been on the phone all morning with these people, and so to reset it from the camera, I open up the settings, and then what do I go to?
Okay, you need to go to the camera tab. Should be the first tab on the list.
Yes.
Okay, now on there should be an option that there is the name of your camera, I believe, right?
It says reboot reset. That option?
Okay, yeah, that is the option you need to click on.
Do I have to?
And you're going to see the name of your camera on there.
Do I have to unplug my camera or anything like that?
No, I don't believe so. In that case, you just need to click on the of your camera.
Okay, I clicked on reset. It says, are you sure you want to...
Please click on yes.
It says it's going through. I see it's loading. I see the circle spinning.
Okay, now what the camera is doing here is returning to its factory defaults, where the camera is erasing all its information and configuration. So in a few moments it's going to be rediscovered by the software. And when we get that discovered again, we're going to need to test the camera. We're going to need to wait until for the night. And we're going to check if the night vision is still not working, then we're going to need to replace your camera.
Okay. And I'm reporting it to the police too.
Oh, okay.
Because there shouldn't be both cameras, right?
That's right.
If it was just a glitch, maybe you would say it would just be the Logitech camera. But both cameras that cover the front of the house where the main door is, the garage door, and I live in one of the highest crime areas in the country, the Bronx, New York.
Oh, okay.
It really is a zoo, and I don't have to be politically correct. Number one, I'm black. Number two, I'm a senior citizen. It's a zoo. I live with animals, savages.
Oh, I understand.
I mean, it's terrible. They assaulted my mother when she was 90 years old.
Oh my God, that's awful.
So you know I live with savages.
I understand. Okay.
And I live alone in this house.
I understand. Sorry to hear that. But don't worry, as soon as we confirm if the camera is not working, we're going to replace it as soon as possible.
Thank you. I'm going to send that. Now I have to go to the post office. Well, I just have to go to the post office. That's it. And send it. That's why I'll have to go to the post office, or are you going to have UPS come and get it?
Oh, it's UPS, miss, in that case. In that situation, I don't know if you can schedule a pickup from UPS, because we only send the e-labels.
Oh, yeah. You send the labels. No problem. No problem. Yes. Wonderful.
Okay.
Great. I don't even have to go to the post office. That's great.
Okay, perfect.
That's great.
Oh, by the way, please let me know when the system
Okay, something just happened. Hold on a minute. Hold on. It says there's a little. I didn't have to click OK or apply or anything because the circle started spinning, right?
That's right.
So it says rebooting a camera restarts. It says so. My reset is a triangle with a black exclamation point. What does that mean? It finished spinning. There's loading. What does that mean?
Well, in that situation, the sleep camera is performing the reboot right now. So in that case, we need to wait until the system show you that was able to find the camera again.
Now, maybe I didn't explain myself. Okay, so just wait. That's a caution. If the circle stops spinning, it says the time, as if it had finished. But instead of saying it found the camera or anything, it just has, by the reset, a yellow triangle with a black exclamation point.
Okay, I see. One question. If you put the little pointer from the screen over the yellow triangle, did you get any message or something? Just
no, should I do that? Should I click on it? Your camera has not yet been found. Please running the add find. Oh, yes, hold on a minute.
Oh, okay. Well, on the same camera tab under the settings, there should be an option that says find cameras.
Yes.
Click on that.
Okay, it's found. The camera is found. Okay.
Perfect. There it is.
It's
okay.
done.
Now, the camera now, you're going to need to assign a name to your camera again, because the camera is forgetting all the previous configuration.
Okay, because it says name camera. But that's what you mean in the camera tab under cameras?
Yeah, on the camera tab, click on the name of the camera that is called camera, and then you can change the name from it.
I had garage. That's the name I had, garage.
Oh, okay, perfect. Oh, well, in that case, looks like it kept the name in that situation. Okay, that's good.
I'm going to change it back to the name I had, right? Is that okay?
That is correct.
Okay, and then I'm gonna. Okay, so night vision is enabled, auto levels, or the video image on automatic. So then I click on apply and then okay.
That's right, that's correct.
Oh, I want to enable audio too.
Oh, okay, please enable the audio if you need to.
And I want to raise the level up so I can hear everything. I'm going to click on apply and then okay.
That's correct.
You don't see any of the other settings need to change. Oh man.
Oh, actually, it should be all the things that we need to modify or make sure that they're working on the camera itself. Okay, now what we're going to do now is we're going to test the camera this night. That means play the camera, check if the night vision is working as it should do. And if you still have the same problem, then once again I'm afraid that you're going to need to give us a call back so we can replace your camera.
Thank you.
If the night vision is still failing on there, I believe that should be something on the hardware that is causing the problem to happen that way.
I appreciate that very much. Very.
I really appreciate your time. Now, just one more thing before you go. Let me put some notes here, and remember, the case number you provide me is the same one you're going to use tomorrow when you use a call again.
Hold on a minute. You said your name is Edgar?
That is correct.
Okay, 1 minute, Edgar. Thank you.
Don't worry.
Yes, and what is the case number?
The case number is the same one you gave me, the 130-424-000959.
Okay.
The same case number when we're going to start working on it.
Okay.
And a little reminder, if in the case that you need to call back tomorrow, either way, we replace the camera or if everything, start working fine after this, after a week from today, or maybe after we replace your camera, you're going to receive a short survey, which on the question number 1 is you can rate Logitech, and that way you can give us some feedback about the customer service. Okay?
I think your Logitech is great. It's just, again, that I live in a very high crime area. That is the problem. My mom, a 90-year-old woman who gave so much to this community, when she was 90 years old, she was sexually assaulted in the same house that I'm in.
I'm really sorry to hear that, Mrs. Copeland, but don't worry. In that case, hopefully the camera is going to start working, and we're not going to need to replace it. But in the case that happened, just give us a call back, and we're going to send it as soon as we can.
I appreciate that very much.
I appreciate your time, Mrs. Copeland. By the moment, any other question that I can help you with today, then?
No, Edgar, okay, so in terms of the issue of the wrong camera model, that's not a worry, that's a minor point. There's one other thing.
A minor point. We only use the number 50 to identify the master system from an
No, not you, what you did, but I mean with my internet service provider, when he gave the IP address, the IP number was correct.
Oh yeah, you were telling me that it was showing a model number from the other camera. No, actually that is not the problem. As soon as the camera is being detected by the software and be able to perform as it should be, it's okay. The name actually doesn't matter because that one doesn't interfere with hardware configuration or hardware performance. It's just a way that the computer is interpreting the signals maybe. But in that case, it's okay. That should not be a problem for you.
Now, let me ask you this too. Sometimes when I'm running my D-Link system, I will see an icon, a camera, a red circle with a line over a camera. What they D-Link said that was coming from you. What does that mean?
A red circle with a line over the camera?
Let me put a camera, like a camera, a little icon, camera icon, in the upper right part of the window with a black camera with a red circle and a red line through the camera.
Well, in that case, would you believe me, I never see that icon before. This happened on our software, or on the alert software?
It happens when I'm looking at the playback or looking at the playback of the My D-Link, and they say that's a Logitech icon, not a D-Link icon. I didn't have the icon before I had my D-Link camera. Before I had my Logitech camera.
Oh, okay, I see. But in that case, this icon is showing up on your D-Link software when you try to use the software for D-Link is when you see this icon?
It happens when I'm on my D-Link software playing back the recorded video, yes. And D-Link says that is a Logitech icon.
Okay, I see. Well, in that case, you know what? The situation is maybe this. In that case, the alert cameras, as far as I know, normally, well, you know, we advise customers to use it with the Logitech software.
I do.
If I understand correctly, the product specialist says that these cameras can be also detected by other softwares. So in that case, that's why maybe the D-Link software is providing, you know, the IP address that you're getting from the internet service. It's showing a name for a D-Link camera because our camera seems to be compatible, well, maybe not fully compatible with that software, but in that case, it's maybe trying to be detected by the software, but you are getting that icon because the camera is not fully compatible.
I
In
got
that
it.
case,
That makes a lot of
it might be an icon from Logitech camera.
I got it. That makes a lot of sense. That answers. That's not a big deal. The only thing, though, of all the issues, I've resolved a lot of issues, and I want to thank you, Logitech. I want to thank D-Link, and I want to thank Optimum, my cable company, because we've resolved a lot of issues. The only thing is the night vision issue, and what we're going to do is check that out tonight, and I'm glad, I'm glad that Logitech is willing to replace the camera. So Edgar, I want to thank you so much. I want to thank you and Logitech a lot.
No, don't worry, that's okay. That's what we're here for, so we can help you. And another question that I can help you with today then?
No, you handled everything. Thank you very much.
Perfect, Mrs. Copeland. Well, I hope you have a great day, and well, thank you for calling Logitech Customer Care.
Thank you very much, Edgar. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.